Okay, what's up, guys? This is Marc Augustine and Sammy here. And in this video, we are going to talk about how to get sales in eBay. And this is episode 1 of a 4-part series of focusing on the SEO of eBay. But first of all, this video is brought to you by the Dropship Mastery course. What the Dropship Mastery course is a full eBay dropshipping course brought to you by Ecom Sniper. If you use the code FIRST100, you get 50% off your first month. So the course basically will cost you $97, and it comes with a full month of Ecom Sniper software. So check the link in the description. Go grab the course before the first 100 coupon stops working. And yeah, let's get into the video. So Sammy, you want to introduce yourself really quickly?
Yeah, hi, my name is Sammy. I've been dropshipping on eBay for the last 6 years, and I'm wearing these sunglasses because I have an eye infection, just to clear things up, yeah?
I feel like I should be wearing sunglasses as well, but my name is Marc Augustine. I've been dropshipping on eBay for over 10 years now, and we're just getting into this video. So before we get into the video, we are doing an update, and we're also sharing with you a little secret of generating more sales outside of SEO. But go ahead, Sammy. You want to give us the update?
Yeah. So right now, like in the last 31 days, we did $3,942 in revenue. As you can see, our sales from the last 2 days were kind of minimal, right? And that's okay. Like that's what happens, right? eBay in itself is not stable in nature, right? There a lot of it depends on the tides of the market. So with that being said, is like sometimes you're gonna have ups and downs. Sometimes you're gonna have like these, huge days, and then sometimes you're gonna have these low days, right? But in the end of the day, you're always gonna come out with some type of average as long as you are listing every day, right? So if you have low sales, right, that it just could mean today's an off day. It doesn't mean that something happened to your account. None of that stuff. There's no need to fear. The way you go ahead and you circumvent like slow sales is you just list more items. And then we're going to do one more thing today that's just going to go ahead and increase our sales. And then we can go ahead and talk about the main topic of the video, which is going to be eBay SEO. And we're going to specifically talk about today images. And I think, Marc, you said you want to have like a 5-part series and talk about all the different aspects of the SEO?
Yes, exactly. So in this video, we'll talk about images. In another video, we'll talk about titling. In another video, we'll talk about pricing and so on.
Right.
So
So let's
hit
go.
the subscribe button and prepare yourself for this series.
Right. So let's go ahead and look into our profit first of all and finish the account update. We're gonna go ahead and try to increase the sales. You can see we have finally finished the $1,000 mark in less than 30 days. And remember, we have done this already in 13 days, but it was scaling too fast. We did 8,000 listings. So this month, we're gonna go ahead, and the next month in October, we're gonna go ahead and post another 4,000 listings or so, and we're gonna try to get our account to 10,000 listings. Yeah, and we should be able to see like a profit margin of 2,000. And just one thing to understand, guys, is we did the hard work, well, relatively speaking, of listing 3,000 items or so right now, and those items are going to continue to sell next month. So just understand that once you go ahead and you set up the account with all the listings, that those are going to go ahead and continue to generate listings and sales. So as you can see, we have 3,833 items. And we got to go ahead and post some items. Let's go ahead and check our status of the bulk lister. Let's see what happened. We only listed 105 out of 563, so we don't have to go ahead and find more items right now. We're going to finish this list. I'm going to turn this on in a second. This is the trick that we're going to use to go ahead and get an increase in sales right away. It usually works. So what it is we're going to go ahead and create a markdown sale. This markdown sale, what it does, it goes ahead and gives users like a 5% discount. And that 5% discount, what happens is when you give a 24-hour limit, right? What the users, the buyers, the customers, they go ahead and they see that there's only 24 hours left to get 5% off, and all of a sudden they start panicking. Because if you don't have to pay 5% more in 24 hours, why wouldn't you, right? If you already sold, like, we're trying to go ahead and stop people from going ahead and like evaluating their other options by creating this sense of urgency. So what I did was I went ahead and created my markdown sale. I put 5% off each item. I'm going to select items. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rule. And this rule is I'm going to go ahead and select all inventory. So it's going to be, I'm creating a sale for all of the inventory that we have, all 3,816 items. And then, right, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm not going to go ahead and, I'm going to uncheck this mark. What this means is this checkbox means that if you have a sale, then you're not able to increase the price or not. Sometimes we increase the price, so I go ahead and uncheck this. So, and then I'm going to click include skipped or new items when they qualify. So the items that we're listing today are going to be added to the sale. So right now I'm going to say start this in September 29th, and we're going to end this on September 30. And we're going to do it ended at 11:30 p.m. So that means that tomorrow people are going to see there's only 5 hours left of this sale. You know, like we should buy it right now. And I'm going to call it weekday. So the sale description
Well, you
doesn't
can do
matter.
weekend sale because today's Friday.
Oh, today's Friday? Wow. I'm so like out of touch with the dates, man. Weekends, because I do the same thing every day pretty much, you know? Like I
Yeah.
just work on the biz and just keep scaling, and every day becomes pretty repetitive at some point. So whether it's Monday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, all days seem the same to me at this point. I don't know if that's a good thing. Weekend sale. Save 5 with us. This title doesn't matter. People are not going to see this, yeah? So there we go. We created a 5% sale, and you can see that it says it's scheduled. It should start soon. The last sales we did was a while back, right? But this, if you're doing, make your sales every single day if you want to go ahead and get an increase in sales. We've been a bit busy to do this. It takes just a second, right? But I don't think like we needed it. But as I need the sales, I go ahead and I put in a little bit of extra work, yeah. And then what we can do is like, let's go ahead and just, you know, like refresh to see. Okay, whatever. It's gonna start. We're gonna show the results of this tomorrow, I guess. You can see over here that from these promotional sales, like this is a coupon. It worked. Let's go ahead and show all the sales history. Okay. Okay. So from the coupons, this really helps get sales as well. Okay. Well, we can talk about this another time. But yeah, this, so if you guys are having any problems getting sales, create a markdown sale every single day, right? It's gonna go ahead and make your listings more attractive. It's gonna create this sense of urgency. And then let me see if I can pull up somebody else who's running a sale. So drum set right over here was 5%. You can see that these ones, right, they're very like attractive, right? Look at this part, 40% off, save 15% when you buy more, right? All of this stuff really goes ahead and helps somebody make a purchase. So we can see over here that this person, he went ahead and he ran a whole bunch of promotions on the account, and these promotions, right, they really go ahead and create this like sense of I'm getting a great deal, I need to purchase this now, right? So let me go ahead and see somebody who has like a time limit. Well, let me put something more generic. Chair. So with this chair, 10% off, brand new. Let me see if I can find something. We can kind of evaluate, yeah? Okay, I don't see anybody who has like set a sale for like the last, for like 20, like there's only like 5 hours left, 10 hours left, or etc. But we'll show it tomorrow, I guess, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, just to clarify my point, all of these sales, these markdown promotions that we're doing over here, 50% off, it really makes like it seem like the person is getting a lot of value. And that is how you go ahead and make sales on eBay, right? You have to go ahead and provide value, right? So if somebody feels like they're getting 50% off, right, and it's only them that's getting that special treatment, yeah? Like let's say, for example, one of your friends comes up to you and says, hey, you know what, I'll sell you this, and I'll for you, I'll give you 50% off. You're going to be very inclined to purchase that item. And we're using a similar tactic on eBay, right? We're making the buyer feel very exclusive, very, very elevated. We're providing a bunch of value, and that value is what sells, right? And we'll talk more about this in the pricing SEO section, yeah? So the last thing we'll do is we're just going to go ahead and turn on the bulk lister, and then we can just jump into the video. So let's go open the bulk lister, and we'll set 4 threads, press list, and there we go. We're good to go. So all our items gonna list. Tomorrow we should have like another 400 items listed onto our account, or maybe 300, however long this takes, yeah? Okay, so let me close these tabs. Alrighty. So to start the video, like this PDF is found inside the course, so you can always refer back to it whenever you need it. And we're just gonna go through it very quickly, and then we're gonna go jump into some examples, yeah? So the first thing that we want to talk about when it comes to eBay SEO regarding images, right, is the technical SEO hacks that we're going to enable into our images, right? So the first technical component that we're going to be talking about is the size of the image, right? eBay, if you go ahead and try to upload an image that's 200 by 200 pixels, let's say a tiny little like watermark or like a stamp or something, right? If it's small in size, right, the picture quality, eBay is not even going to accept it. So that already tells you a lot about what type of images they're looking for, right? eBay wants you to go ahead and upload a huge image, right? And usually when you take a huge image, right, if it's like a big picture with like, let's say 1500 by 1500 pixels, which is the most ideal, right? What ends up happening is eBay assumes that you took that picture with a high quality like camera, right? And that high quality camera, right, results in a beautiful picture, and then the buyer gets it. And eBay is all about providing a good buyer experience, right? They're not able to go ahead and use computer vision to evaluate the quality of the image yet. However, they go ahead and assess the quality of the image with different metrics of evaluation. One of those metrics is the size of the image, the pixel quantity, right? So if it's 1500 by 1500 pixels, eBay assumes that you went ahead and took it with this high quality camera, and that high quality camera results in a better buyer experience for the user. So what we do is, if you're going to go ahead and copy images from Amazon, make sure you're resizing the image to make sure it gets 1500 by 1500 pixels. Does that make sense, Mark?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you could use if you're doing it manually, you could use a free software like Canva to edit your images. We don't have that problem because we use Ecom Sniper to re-edit the images. But if you're listing on eBay, you really you do want to list as big as the image as possible.
Exactly. And another feature is, like, if you go ahead and you list an image, let's go ahead and pull up one of our items, right? Mark, can you pause the video for 1 second? Okay, yeah. So just to come back, regarding the size of the images, what we're gonna do is, if you can look at our images, right? The reason another key benefit is that you're able to go ahead and like maneuver your mouse over the image, right? And like what happens is, it's like you're using a what is that thing called? Magnifying glass?
Yes.
And that magnifying glass, like, it really adds like a playful element when you're going ahead and like you're scanning through the image, right? It's almost like you're playing that game called Where's Waldo. I don't know if you know about that.
No, I don't. I'm not a
Yeah.
gamer.
Yeah. No, it's like a picture book, and what it does is, like, you have to search through the book to find like a character inside the image. And then so eBay goes ahead and adds this playful element, and they added this. Remember, eBay is a multi-billion national company, right? They don't do anything that is not gonna be helping and aiding them in producing sales and revenue, right? They're not doing things for fun.
Yeah,
They
but
added
Amazon had that feature first.
Yeah, exactly, right? So they are spending their time in adding these features because it goes ahead and aids them in producing revenue and sales, just like Amazon did, right? They learn from one another, they share, and etc. So So if you have a small image, what's going to happen is you're not going to have this feature added to your account. And this feature goes ahead and helps with the SEO because buyers love to go ahead and inspect the small details of the item, right? They like to go ahead and maneuver through the picture. And then if you go ahead and click the image, you'll see that our image is very big, right? It encapsulates the entire frame. It's a very high quality image, right? And we must put as high quality images as you can, as big as you can. If you open in a new tab, you'll see that the image is 1600 by 1600. That is how we designed it. And we also, this is another thing that we didn't add inside of this, but you want to make sure that your images are perfect squares. Because let's go ahead and we look into, like, let's go ahead and search into the eBay search results, and you'll see that some of the images, like, you have to go ahead and make sure that it's going ahead and encapsulating the entire image. For example, you can see that some of these images, right, like, they are not perfect squares. Like, some of them are longer, but see this image, this is not a perfect square, right? But if he made a perfect square, then he is not using all of the real estate that's available to him, given to him by eBay. You see the sides over here?
Yeah, you could tell it's a rectangle.
Right, it's a rectangle, but if eBay gave him a square box and he has not used that square box, right? This person over here, he's using the entire square box, right? So you're basically leaving like money on the table essentially, right? By not going ahead and filling up what's inside the square box, like the empty spaces. And the reason why is because eBay says very directly, and we're going to jump into that point in a second, right? So eBay says directly that you have 7 seconds to go ahead and acquire the attention of a buyer. So this was inside the keynote, one of the keynotes that they posted in their YouTube channel. And they said very specifically, they said that when a buyer is searching through eBay, right, they're scrolling, right? eBay has made their search algorithm very scroll friendly because that's exactly how buyers go. They look at the image, scrolling through images, right? And you have 7 seconds to acquire someone's attention. And we're going to jump into this in a second, yeah? So we talked about the size. The next thing that we want to be able to do is we need quantity, right? You need to make sure that your listings have a good amount of pictures. The reason why is because if you have one image, right, what does that say to eBay? You're lazy.
Yeah, it doesn't rank. When we use all the images available by eBay, it pushes your listing up in the. That's one of the metrics that the search engine uses by counting
Exactly.
how many images you have per listing.
Exactly. Like, let's understand, like I think the SEO concepts, right? We always talk about search engine optimization, but in the end of the day, search engine optimization really translates to a good buyer experience. That's
And
really
which also translates to sales.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And with that being said, let's understand a good buyer experience. If somebody goes ahead, let's say he's trying to buy like a motorcycle jacket or something, right? This is the example that eBay actually used in the keynote. They said that if you have one picture and it's just hanging there, the buyer is not like, they want to go ahead and get as much information as they can. They want to be able to see around the picture. They want to see the sides. They want to see the insides, right? Imagine you as a buyer, you're able to see all of that information, right? You're going to feel so confident in that purchase. So that means that as many images as you can, right? Buyers love to click pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like social media apps that just focus directly on pictures. So make sure you put as many pictures as you can because people love to look at images, and eBay understands that, and that translates into a higher SEO boost, which translates to more sales, as Mark said. So many images because it translates to a better buyer experience. And the reason why, again, is because buyers need as much information as they can. That's the second thing, huh? So the next last thing we're going to talk about is the quality. We talked about this as in size, but like, when I say quality, you do not want to go ahead and upscale a tiny image and make it big. It's just going to look pixelated. Do you get what I mean, Mike?
Yeah. You need to use high
E-
resolution images. Although you
Exactly.
have to fit 1500 by 1500, it should be very high resolution.
Exactly, exactly. Let's say you have an image that's very low quality. You do not want to upscale that. No. What we do to go ahead and mitigate something like that, we make a collage with that item where we put that image as it is, and then we go ahead and we put badges, we put other images, we make it into a collage. That way, we don't go ahead and ruin the quality of the image. It's not as simple as upscaling it to 15 by 1500 by 1500. There is a aspect of quality, right? You do not want to go ahead and make a fuzzy image because their algorithms are going to be able to tell that. So the next topic we're going to jump into is the hero image, and this ties down to the image quality and the SEO. So we talked about it briefly in the last segment where we talked about we had the buyer has 7 seconds to go ahead and make that purchase because eBay has become a platform where you go ahead and you scroll indefinitely to go ahead and find the item that you want, right? So to go ahead and make this first impression, what we do is we go ahead and we make a collage, right? If we look at our main item right over here, you can see that our main image, right, to go ahead and make sure that we're providing as much information as we can, right? We're going to go ahead and we're putting a collage with the 3 side images that Amazon provides us or whatever platform you're using to go ahead and dropship from eBay. So what this means is like a buyer goes ahead and searches. Can you pause the video? I'm going to go ahead and make an example for them to see this. Yeah. Okay, so we did some HTML magic, right? We went ahead and we put our picture inside of the search results. This is just an example, a case study for you guys to see. What we have is a hand warmer. And when we're going, let's say I'm a buyer from eBay, right? I'm searching for hand warmers. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna look at the first image and I'm gonna be like, okay, this is not giving me enough information, right? I'm gonna go ahead and scroll to the second image, and then all of a sudden I am bombarded with so much information, right? I'm gonna go ahead and see the main image, what the image is, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get a glimpse of what the other images are, right? So we see the side images over here, and then the buyer is gonna start thinking, okay, you know what? There's information. There's more to this picture than just the main image. There's more information that I need to go ahead and find out. So what I'm gonna do as a buyer is because I've seen there's extra information here that I'm not easily able to see. It acts as a lead magnet. Do you know what I'm saying, Mark?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
This comes back to the buyer's funnel.
exactly, exactly. So basically, we're giving them a taste. Like we're telling them, like, okay, look, right, this picture, this listing is not just this one picture over here. We have more images, right? We like right now, the buyer is not able to clearly see what those other images are, but they understanding right away, right, that there is more to this image than just the main image. So they go ahead and they get this glimpse of like all these side images or this collage of an image is pointing towards that this listing has even more information, and all of a sudden their imagination, their interest is piqued. And so as their interest is piqued, right, they're not actually reading the title. That's not really how the buyer funnel works, right? They go ahead and they see the image, and then they go ahead and they click the listing, right? And then they open it up, right? This is how a normal buyer goes through the process of buying something on eBay. They went ahead from the search results, they were scrolling down and they're seeing that all of these images, they're not really going ahead and giving them the information that they need. And all of a sudden, this one, it looks clean, it looks professional. There's a whole bunch of, side images, and they're getting this clue that I have to go ahead and figure out more information, right? And we acquired their interest in that first 7 seconds, and then all of a sudden they go ahead and they click into the listing, and they find that they go ahead and click the image. This is the first thing that a buyer does, and then they start scrolling, and then they get bombarded with image after image, information after information, and then they make their way through the end of the images. They click out of it, and remember, every single image that they scrolling through is another chance for you to go ahead and persuade them. So there's
And
many
remember,
images.
this is an item that we actually sold with 8 views.
Right, exactly, exactly. One of those 8 viewers went ahead through this exact process, and then after they went ahead and went through the images, they started reading the title. That's when they read the title. They don't read the title before this, right? A good quality title aids in getting the sale, but that is a secondary component after the image. So make no mistake, right? And then they go to the description, and the item specifics and etc. We'll talk about that in another video, but that is the buyer's funnel when they're looking at images. So that is the next component that we talked about, right? We made a collage so that way we give them a sneak preview into the images that are going to be presented to them as soon as they click. So that is really the purpose of the collage. It goes ahead and makes the listing even more attractive. It makes your images unique, first of all. Because if you don't make your images unique, right, the one thing that's gonna happen is eBay is not gonna go ahead and rank you, right? Just understand everybody has like let's say you're listing this item from Amazon. What is most of the Amazon sellers on eBay, the dropshipper, what are they doing? They're copying the
They're
image
copying the exact
exactly.
same image.
Exactly. They're copying the exact same image, right? And eBay's algorithm is able to tell if you have the same exact image as somebody else. And if you have the same exact image as somebody else, what ends up happening is your listing is not going to be shown at all. Because imagine, give me, pause this video for one more second, brother. Okay, so we just did some HTML magic again. And then, so imagine this, guys. If somebody searches the word hand warmer and then they're scrolling down and they see this, what's going to happen? Are they ever going to come back on eBay again? Never. Because your pictures are not unique, right? eBay knows that this goes hand in hand with a bad buyer experience. If everybody has the same image, right, then what's going to happen is, like the buyers are never going to come back to the platform because they're going to think, screw this website. You know what, they don't have variety. They're not unique. Everybody's selling the same thing. They just looks cheap. It just looks like
And
stupid.
but even if they stayed on the platform, then the decision making is based on price. And you don't want to be in a situation where you just fall in line with everyone else selling the same thing. Because our game is not a price game. The game is to be unique and creating the best value possible for the buyer in order to, that's how we get 25-30% profit margins.
That's such a good point, man. That's such a good point because no matter, let's say somebody has the perfect titles in one of this, if I'm seeing the same image, I absolutely don't care about the title at all. I'm going to
Right.
look at this guy, $9.99. I'm going to purchase it because all of the pictures are the same. My intuition is going to tell me that, hey, if all of the images are the same, the titles are irrelevant because they're all the same product. That was a great point. So that completely adds on to the point that you need complete images, unique images, right? And on top of that, just know this. If you don't have a unique image, eBay is trying to prevent this experience for buyers. So if you have the same image as everybody else, your listing is not even going to be shown in the search results at the same time as someone else who has the same image. That's the key point, right? Because what happens with eBay is they go ahead and they shuffle the listings that are getting shown. For example, let's say me and Mark are selling the same item. What's going to happen is if we listed the same image, Mark's item is going to be shown one time, and then my image is going to be shown another day. So eBay goes ahead and on rotation. But to go ahead and your listings to be shown and present at all times has to be unique. Very important, yeah. So, and otherwise, like just to recap this point, if eBay went ahead and shown everybody with the same images, people are gonna leave the platform, and that's what they're against. That's why they don't like dropshippers. But if you're a unique dropshipper, right, and I'm not talking about crazy, I'm talking about your listings.
Yeah.
So that is when they like you, yeah. Bring value to the platform is what I'm telling you guys. So let's go back to the just to go back to the so this we were talking about the next segment, which was the hero image, and we were talking about the collage. And the next thing that we're talking about is the information. We talked about it already. Like if you go ahead and put those side images, it's giving the buyer enough information to go ahead and click the image, right? It's not enough to go ahead and make the purchase, but it is the beginning of the funnel to go ahead and give you a sneak preview so that you can go ahead and, continue to go ahead and click through the image, right? So the next thing that we add to make these images stand out more is we add badges and validation. So I would like to call it badges of validation, right? So these are called trust badges. So when we add a badge like a US seller flag, right? And what ends up happening is the buyer goes ahead and he opens up the image and he sees that it's a United States flag, right? New eBay is notorious for having a bunch of Chinese sellers. And no offense to anybody who's Chinese, right? I love you guys, man. Those most of the things I buy is from China, right? So, but the general population, this is a hard reality to go ahead and like you have to digest it, right? I think everybody understands, right? Things people buy from China, they assume for it to be in lower in quality. So when you go ahead and you put your USA flag and you kind of show that it's American made, Canadian made, or whatever, right? You don't only get patriarchy inside of your listing, right? You don't get not only are you appealing to a bunch of people that are patriotic about the country, but also at the second time you're going ahead and for the consumers who are thinking like, you know what, this is made in the US, etc., or it's from the US, it's being shipped out from there. That means that you know what, it has a lot of quality, right? It's a quality product, right? It goes ahead and justifies the exorbitant price that we do by marking it up by 80%. You know what I mean? This goes ahead and aids us in that purchase decision of our buyers, because if we told the buyer that, hey, we're mass producing this item for $1 in China and we're importing it and our cost is like $1, etc., whatever, and we're selling it for $100 to you, limited time deal, what is the buyer gonna say? Get out of here. You know
And
what I
it's
mean?
all and it also indicates that it's shipped from the US. So a lot of buyers would assume that it'll get there faster.
Exactly, exactly. That's another great point. It goes ahead, instead of writing fast delivery shipping, right? That picture is a subtle indication that it's fast shipping, it's a quality product, and it goes ahead and promotes that nationalism that a lot of users do have. You know what I mean?
I remember years ago, a long time ago, I was managing. We used to put our phone number for any questions, and
That's
someone
great.
called and answered, and they were like, "Are you guys?" They actually asked if you guys were in the US,
That's great.
and
Hey,
I was in
that's
Nicaragua at the time, so we weren't in the US. But I just think it's funny that people are that patriotic.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I sell a whole bunch of stuff to a whole bunch of patriotic users at all time. And you know what? The funny thing that you mentioned about I never went ahead and put the phone numbers in the images, but for a long time I've been playing around with that concept. Like I even bought a 1-800 number that I was gonna post at the bottom of the picture. I didn't expect anyone to call it. I wanted to go ahead and put it just so the buyer, like, it aids in their purchase decision, knowing that they're getting 24/7 support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would definitely help in the sales funnel. Like that, like here's the thing, guys. Whatever we're talking about, like right away, like me and Mark, we were able to validate a new idea right away without having to test it. Like just knowing that putting that number at the bottom of the picture is gonna help in sales, and the reason why is because of trust, right? The reason, the main reason somebody doesn't buy something from you, period, is because they don't trust you, right? A lot of the reasons a lot of these sales always happen is because of trust. And if you can go ahead and increase your trust on the platform, and that's talking about your feedback, your reputation, right, repeated buyers, etc., right, that trust really, it is probably like 50% of the sale. I would go as far as to say that. What do you think?
Yeah, because if you have a bad image and no one is going to spend the money if they don't trust the buyer. We gain
Exactly.
some trust because it's on the eBay platform, so buyers feel relatively safe on eBay. But because of the number of Chinese sellers with slow shipping and the quality of items, you definitely want to be trusted by every buyer.
Exactly, exactly. And I suspect if we put that, 1-800 number in the bottom, like we should try that later on. I suspect that is gonna aid in that trust, and is gonna go ahead and increase your sales. So for those of you watching, you can go ahead and, yeah, I mean, we can even put the main image, the side image over here with the 1-800 number or something. But I don't think that's allowed by eBay. But
It's not allowed by eBay
again,
anymore.
yeah, yeah. But again, I think they're very liberal. They're just against the bad buyer experience. If they open up your listing and see you're a professional seller, I think they'll be very, comfortable with you. So so that is the second thing that we talked about, is going ahead and adding those badges of validation. So not only do we go ahead and add that flag and to go ahead and show we have fast shipping and show that, you know, to add trust to the platform, right? Showing that your US sellers, the seller is selling, it's shipping from the US, right? We go ahead and we add these bestseller badges and limited time deal, right? So these badges, right? It goes ahead and buyers don't like to think for themselves. This is the reality, man. They want to know, right? They want you to tell them what they're doing is the right thing. That their decision that they're using, that whatever they're thinking, right? They want to be led to that thought. They don't want to go ahead and make a decision, right? So by us putting it's a bestseller, limited time deal, etc., right? And we're pulling that information from Amazon, right? We go ahead and effectively we are letting the buyer know that this is a good product, a quality product, right? It's very explicit, and that being that explicit really aids in helping a buyer make an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? Many people on Amazon exclusively only buy things that are bestsellers and Amazon choice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They don't look at other people's prices, nothing like that. They just look at those badges, they see it's a bestseller, and you know what? Then they go ahead and make that purchase decision. Do you get what I mean, Mark?
Yeah, most definitely. So we are just translating a lot of what Amazon is. We are using Amazon as an example, as a best choice or best what
Yeah.
is it? Best practice example.
Yeah, exactly. So just once again, like the main thing for over here is buyers, they just want to be led into a decision, into like a thought process. They don't want to go ahead and think about it themselves, right? So they want someone to tell them that the decision that they're doing is right. And so when you put that something like bestseller, limited time deal, or you let them know in some way, shape, or form that this product is the right product for their problem, right? That's what this bestseller does, right? They go ahead and trust it, right? They feel more comfortable because they don't want to think for themselves. That is how the average consumer is. All right. So we talked about the bestseller badge, and the second thing we did was we created urgency by putting the limited time deal. I don't know how effective this is. This doesn't really pop out to me. eBay does that already with the markdown sales, but you know what? When they go ahead and open the image, this could be helping, aiding to make that decision. So the next thing that we got to talk about is the click-through rate of images, right? So, you know, this goes down to, and this encapsulates everything else that we talked about. Sales bring sales, right? If your image is garnering attraction, engagement, etc., eBay is gonna notice those clicks and views and etc., and they're gonna go ahead and rank you because of that. So if you have a good image, that image is gonna get clicks, and those clicks are gonna produce a higher SEO result, which means that your placement on the search result is gonna go higher, and that higher placement is going to produce more sales, and then it's going to be this endless loop where you're going to go ahead and get sales are going to bring more sales, and it comes down to the image. So make no mistakes. So the last thing that we're going to be talking about is the additional tips. So you know, like the name of the image when you're saving that image, right? If you go ahead and you
Sammy, give me 1 second. Give me one.
yeah, okay, so the last part we're gonna be talking about the video, and we're gonna wrap it up, is the alt text of the image. Whenever you go ahead and you save an image, right? You can see over here, if you open up the image, let's say we save it, right? It's gonna have a name, right? And this name, if it's the same name as the title on your eBay item, let's say you call it hand warmer, right? Now eBay is able to see that the image is called hand warmer. And when you call it hand warmer, it goes ahead and gives you a boost in like the SEO results, because eBay goes ahead and understands that all of the pictures that you're uploading are hand warmers.
Are you
You know what?
sure? Are you sure about that? Is that tested?
Anecdotally, yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is, when you're uploading and you're using like eBay's API, they go ahead and they ask you for the image name. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So that means that they're going ahead and they're understanding the metadata from that image.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never used that in all the years
I
that I've been
I
doing.
don't think it matters either, man. But I just that's why I put it down on additional tips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't put the Amazon title, put your title on eBay, because what we know for sure for eBay's algorithm, right, is if your title matches your item specifics and that matches your description, right, that is gonna go ahead and increase relevancy. So if your images have the same name as well, it goes ahead and increases that relevancy inside of the item listing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all comes down to like it is not a direct consequence, but it adds in the concept of relevancy, right? So guys, relevancy means, one more time, right, is eBay, let's say you have like this listing that says hand warmer, and then your item specific says something about like a washing machine, and then your description talks about a microwave, right? eBay has no clue what the hell your item is, right?
I,
They don't. If somebody searches hand warmer, they're gonna be like, "Oh, should we? Is this a microwave? Is this a hand warmer? Is this a, detergent? Who knows?" So when you go ahead and have this magical connection of item specifics, matches your description, matches your title, right? You need to have that keyword hand warmer in every single part of your listing to increase relevancy. If your listing description, item specifics, and title doesn't match, you're not relevant. And then secondly, and that's the reason why we're talking about the image, if we put the hand warmer as the alt text, as the image name, right, that goes ahead and aids in that relevancy, because eBay is able to go ahead and tell the name of the image and the alt text from it. Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
no, that's it.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that is the concept behind alt text. The last two things we're gonna be talking about is clarity. Like, I think this is pretty standard. Make sure that you're placing everything and making sure it's very professional and clean. Where we go ahead and we make professional images, right? Not something like cheap. It doesn't look like it's made by someone like a first time user in Canva. Like, you can see, like, if we go deep into images, right? Like, what's happening is, like, we focus so deeply on this. Sorry, let me open up the picture again. Right? You can see that our images they go as far as to round the images. So it's not like sharp blocks or whatever. Do you see that softness?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what we do is we're trying to go ahead and we really focus on the quality to make sure it's as professional as it can be, right? And that goes ahead and adds into the trust, right, that we were talking about. Because if you have a low quality image, if your image does not look professional, people are gonna think that I don't want to go ahead and do any business with this guy or the girl or whatever. I know there's a bunch of new genders out there nowadays. I'm not trying to get you banned, man. So anyway, the background of the image, I if you have a white background, it goes ahead and helps you. Like, our images are relatively have a white background, and that helps you. If your images are like they have like a heavy color or something in the background, then what eBay told us was it doesn't help you get promoted on external sites. So because Google search engine, they love white background images, right? I so so make sure your images have like a white background, as clean and professional as you can. So just to recap everything, the quality and size, hero image, right? You want to make sure the image is nice and big, quality image, have a whole bunch of badges and etc. onto your image, and then you want to make sure it's nice and professional, and so that way it can improve your click-through rate. And that's is how you make an eBay image. And so the last thing we'll talk about is how we go ahead and make our images. Because we talked about the concept, what we do to make sure that our images are perfect and clean. Let's go ahead and I don't know. We talked about hand warmer.
The same hand warmer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull up another hand warmer. Yeah. Let's say this item over here. If we want to go ahead and generate the image that we did, what we do is we open up Canva. I'm kidding. We close that down and then our software goes ahead and creates the image for you automatically. So there we go. So we have like our nice professional image, right, with our multi-collage, our badges and everything all generated for us automatically. And then we have other options that you can play around with, but I like to go ahead and pick the main one, the one with as much collages as possible. And you can see that this was done all automatically, yeah? Whoops, let me open this up. There you go. Nice, big, high quality image. Has the bestseller badge, our collage, our USA flag, right? And then our main image. So it gives the buyer a whole bunch of details. So yeah, I think that's it for me, man. We can check how many, like, we started 100, we went through 161. So, and then our bulk lister tomorrow, we should have our 500 items listed. And then because of our sale that we ran, let's go ahead and just give an update. Let's see if our sale has finished launching. And then we can kind of see that sale, yeah. So let's go to markdown sale. Okay, it's still scheduled. Start date September 29th, 10:29 a.m. All right. So yeah, I guess we'll give an update on this. Mark, do you have any questions about this, or is there anything that I didn't cover here?
No, we went through, guys. If you want access to this document and access to different videos on these topics, the link to if you've got to this point in the video, you know that we have a course called Dropship Mastery. So you can get access to that on the Ecom Sniper website. And if you have any questions, leave that in the comment section because we've been getting a lot of questions recently. So leave all your questions in the comment section and subscribe, like the video and subscribe.
Okay. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one, guys.